Hey, what's up, APUSH people? We have pools for you today. Integrations, both horizontal and vertical, and interlocking directorates. Lots of business practices that you should be familiar with during the late 19th century. So we're going to start off talking about pools today. And what are pools? Well, a pool is when firms would agree to divide up an area amongst themselves. So they would take a market, and each firm would essentially have control of a specific area of that market. They would have a monopoly in that market. And this would enable them to share in the profits. And this was used especially by railroad companies. And in the late 19th century, we're going to see that the railroad companies are the ones that people who want to change business practices of are going to go after. So they'll want to change the business practices of railroads. Later in 1887, this is outlawed by the Interstate Commerce Act, which creates the Interstate Commerce Commission. And the main goal of this was to outlaw pools and rebates as well, which is essentially free passes given to individuals, particularly senators. And then you'll see here is a political cartoon from Puck magazine, and you'll notice that the railroad tycoons down here are asking Uncle Sam to be able to raise their rates, because this also outlawed certain types of high rates. And you can see Cornelius Vanderbilt in the background, the ghost of him, in shock that the government is kind of having this effect on the railroad industry. Okay, two integrations you should know. Vertical is the first one. This was made popular by Andrew Carnegie and his steel company. There is good old Andrew. So what is vertical integration? Well, this is when a business controls all aspects of production from beginning to end. So an example, Carnegie Steel, he would control the production from beginning to end. Every single thing that went into making steel was owned by Andrew Carnegie. So no outside company had anything to do with making steel. So from the beginning to the very end, it is touched only by Carnegie Steel. And here is Carnegie Steel, located in Pittsburgh. So why was this used? Well, it would help reduce costs. There's no middleman. It's all you. And it would keep everything in-house. Was this legal? And the answer is yes, it is legal to have vertical integration. Let's go to horizontal integration. This was popularized by John Rockefeller and his Standard Oil Company. There is John. What is it? It is when businesses within an industry join together and create a monopoly. An example, Rockefeller Standard Oil. He would align with other companies, both from buying them out and dividing up the market. And he controlled about 90% of the oil production in the United States at one time. Lots of oil right there. So the question is, was this legal? Eventually, no. In the beginning it was, but eventually it becomes illegal. Finally, we'll finish up with this guy, J.P. Morgan, and interlocking directorates. So what exactly are these? Well, it's when a board of directors serves on the board of multiple competing companies. So somebody could serve on the board of directors for J.P. Morgan's bank, and they would also serve as a director on a competing bank. So again, you have J.P. Morgan in the banking industry. One person would serve on multiple boards of different banks. This was used to control multiple businesses in the same industry. And was this legal? Eventually, no. In 1914, we had the Clayton Antitrust Act, which prohibited this in the same industry. So you could not serve on multiple boards within the same industry. All right, that's everything you need to know about those 4 business practices. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in this section below, and have a good day, guys.